The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the Willow Creek courtroom, casting a harsh glow on the polished wood and tense faces. Emma Riley, 34, sat rigid in the defendant's chair, her blonde hair pulled tight in a prison bun, her orange jumpsuit stark against her pale skin. The jury's verdict echoed in her ears. Guilty of murdering Jason Miller. Evidence was ironclad. Security footage, fingerprints, a witness, death penalty. Emma's chest tightened, not from fear of execution, but from the truth she knew. She'd never set foot in Miller's apartment that night. Detective Daniel Brooks, 42, his short brown hair neat, his gray suit crisp, stood by the prosecution, his face cold. "Justice is served," he told the press, voice flat. The gavel slammed, sealing Emma's fate. In the spectators section, Lucas Hayes, 36, her former partner, his black hair tousled, his leather jacket creased, gripped the bench, disbelief burning in his gut. Emma, the sharpest cop he'd ever worked with, a killer? Impossible. A sharp bark shattered the silence. All eyes turned to Rex, Emma's German shepherd, his black and tan coat gleaming, his amber eyes locked on her. An officer tugged his leash, voice stern. "Out now!" But Rex dug in, paws scraping the tiles, growling, body taut. "Rex, go!" Emma called, her voice cracking, tears pricking. Rex's growl deepened, his gaze unwavering, as if pleading for her to fight. Lucas leaned forward, voice low. "What's he doing?" The officer yanked harder, but Rex lunged, snapping the leash, charging toward Emma. Gasps filled the room. "Stop that dog!" Daniel shouted, stepping back. Rex skidded, knocking over a water pitcher, glass shattering. He didn't attack. He stood guard, barking furiously, blocking the bailiff from Emma. Emma's heart raced, her voice soft. "Rex, it's okay, buddy." But Rex's barks grew frantic, his body shielding her as if sensing a lie in the room. Lucas jumped up, voice sharp. "Let him stay. He knows something." The judge banged the gavel, voice booming. "Order." "Remove the animal." Two officers grabbed Rex, dragging him back, his claws screeching on the floor, his whines piercing. Grace Carter, 50, a journalist with gray hair and a navy blazer, scribbled notes, whispering to Lucas, "That dog's not just loyal." "He's telling us something." Lucas nodded, voice tight. "He's never acted like this, ever." Emma met Rex's eyes, a dull ache flaring in her chest. "I'm sorry, boy," she mouthed as guards pulled her toward the exit. Daniel's voice cut through, addressing the crowd. "The evidence is undeniable. Riley's guilty." But Lucas caught a flicker in Daniel's eyes, nervousness, not triumph. "He's too sure," Lucas muttered, voice low. Grace's pen paused, voice urgent. "Check his phone, Lucas. He's hiding something." As Emma was led out, a twist hit like a shockwave. Rex broke free, charging past the officers, leaping onto the prosecution table, knocking Daniel's briefcase to the floor. Papers scattered, revealing a photo, not of the crime scene, but of Daniel meeting a man in a black coat, a strange triangle symbol on the wall behind them. The courtroom froze, murmurs rising. Lucas's voice was sharp, grabbing the photo. "What the hell is this, Brooks?" Daniel's face paled, voice stuttering. "That's nothing! A personal photo!" But Rex's growl turned savage, his teeth bared at Daniel, as if accusing him. The judge's voice boomed. "Enough! Clear the room!" Officers tackled Rex, dragging him out, his barks echoing, his eyes never leaving Emma. Lucas clutched the photo, voice fierce. "This isn't over, Emma. Rex knows you're innocent." Emma's voice trembled, meeting Lucas's gaze. "Find the truth, Lucas." For Rex, as guards hauled her away, Daniel's phone buzzed, a text flashing. "Keep the dog quiet, or you're next." His hand shook, eyes darting to Lucas. who didn't see it but felt the weight of a conspiracy closing in. Rex's barks faded down the hall, a call to war, and the fight for Emma's life had just begun. The Willow Creek police kennel smelled of damp fur and disinfectant, its concrete walls echoing with restless barks. Rex, the German shepherd, lay in a corner, his black and tan coat dull, his amber eyes fixed on the steel door. He hadn't eaten in days, ignoring the bowl of kibble, his body tense, waiting. Emma Riley's absence, her wrongful death sentence for Jason Miller's murder, had broken something in him. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair messy, his leather jacket worn, knelt by the cage, voice low. "Come on, Rex. You gotta eat." Rex's ears twitched, but he didn't move, his whine sharp, like a plea. Lucas's heart sank, the courtroom chaos replaying in his mind. Rex's desperate charge, the spilled briefcase, the photo of Detective Daniel Brooks meeting a stranger with a triangle symbol. "You knew, didn't you?" Lucas muttered, stroking Rex's fur. The dog's eyes met his, unwavering, as if urging him to act. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair neat, police uniform crisp, approached, voice hesitant. "He's not the same, Lucas. Won't train, won't listen." "They're talking about retiring him." Lucas stood, voice sharp. "Retiring? He's grieving for Emma." Ryan's gaze dropped, voice low. "Daniel's pushing it, says Rex is a liability." Lucas's eyes narrowed, the photo burning in his pocket. "Daniel's covering something." "That photo, why's he meeting some guy with a gang symbol?" Ryan's face tightened, voice tense. "Careful, Lucas. Daniel's got Chief Vaughn's ear." "You're poking a hornet's nest." Outside, Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair tied back, her navy blazer wrinkled, waited in her sedan, her notepad open. "Got anything?" she asked as Lucas slid in, Rex's leash in hand. Lucas had convinced Ryan to let him take Rex home, citing stress. He handed her the photo, voice grim. "Daniel's dirty, Grace. This symbol, it's tied to Miller's murder." Grace's pen paused, voice urgent. "I've seen it before." "Old case, never solved. Shadow Syndicate, they called it." Rex whined, pawing the seat, his nose twitching. Lucas frowned, voice low. "What's up, boy?" Rex's growl deepened, his body tensing, eyes locked on a dark alley across the street. Grace's voice dropped, scanning the shadows. "He's sensing something." "Like in court." Lucas's hand tightened on the leash, voice sharp. "Let's check it out." They crossed the street, Rex leading, his nose low, claws clicking on wet pavement. The alley was narrow, littered with trash and broken glass. Rex stopped, digging furiously at a pile of debris, his growl fierce. Lucas knelt, flashlight beam catching a glint. A scrap of synthetic material, soft, skin-like, with a faint triangle symbol etched on it. Clara's heart raced, voice tense. "What the hell is this?" Grace's eyes widened, voice urgent. "Polymer, high-tech, used for disguises." "This is Shadow Syndicate tech." Lucas's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Stop digging, or the dog's next." His blood ran cold, voice sharp. "They're watching us." Rex's growl turned savage, his body coiled, staring at a shadow moving in the alley's mouth. Lucas drew his gun, voice low. "Show yourself!" A figure bolted, hoodie up, vanishing into the night. Rex lunged, but Lucas held him back, voice tense. "Not now, boy." "We need you alive." Grace's voice was fierce, clutching the material. "This proves Emma was framed. Someone wore this to look like her." Lucas nodded, voice grim. "Daniel's in on it. That photo, he's tied to Syndicate." Rex whined, nudging Lucas's hand, his eyes pleading. Lucas's voice softened, stroking him. "You're right, Rex. Emma's counting on us." The twist hit like a shockwave. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair loose, her hoodie bright, emerged from the shadows, voice trembling. Lucas, I followed you. Followed. Dad's case, it's not what they say. Lucas spun, voice sharp. Sophie, what are you doing here? Sophie's eyes darted, voice urgent. Dad worked for Syndicate. He was scared, said they'd kill us. Emma was investigating him. She's innocent. Clara's voice shook, gripping the polymer. You knew. Why didn't you tell us? Sophie's tears fell, voice breaking. They threatened Mom. But Rex, he found Dad safe. There's a drive inside. Proof Emma didn't do it. Rex's growl softened, his nose nudging Sophie, as if trusting her. Lucas's voice was resolute, pocketing the material. We're getting that drive, Sophie. Rex, you're leading us. Grace's voice was sharp, scanning the alley. They're closing in, Lucas. We move now. Rex's amber eyes burned, his body ready, a warrior unbroken. The conspiracy gripping Willow Creek was unraveling, and Rex's instincts were the key to saving Emma from the gallows. The moon hung low over Willow Creek, Oregon, casting a pale glow on the quiet streets where secrets festered beneath the town's polished surface. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair damp, his leather jacket zipped tight, gripped Rex's leash as they slipped through a back alley, the German shepherd's black and tan coat gleaming, his amber eyes sharp, nose twitching. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair tucked under a hoodie, her sneakers scuffing the pavement, clutched a flashlight, voice trembling. Lucas, Dad's safe. It's in his office. The drive's inside. Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair loose, her navy blazer creased, followed close, notepad in hand, voice low. We're exposed, Lucas. That text, the dog's next. They're watching. Lucas's heart pounded, the synthetic polymer scrap from the alley, Shadow Syndicate tech burning in his pocket. Emma Riley, 34, sat on death row, her blonde hair now a prison braid, her jumpsuit a mark of her framed murder charge. Rex had led them to the truth, his courtroom charge exposing Detective Daniel Brooks's suspicious photo. Rex knows more than we do, Lucas said, voice tight. Rex's growl rumbled, his body tense, ears pricked, sensing danger in the shadows. Willow Creek's quaint charm hid a rot of corruption, cops on payrolls, deals in backrooms. Emma, a decorated officer, had been too close to exposing it, her investigation into Jason Miller's shady dealings making her a target. Lucas, her loyal partner, refused to let her die for it. Sophie, you sure about this drive? He asked, voice sharp. Sophie nodded, tears brimming. Dad said it's got names. Syndicate names. Emma was after them. Grace's voice was urgent, scanning the alley. Miller was their money man. They killed him to silence him, framed Emma to tie it up. Rex's nose dropped, sniffing a dumpster, his growl spiking. Lucas knelt, flashlight catching a glint, a cigarette butt fresh with the same triangle symbol etched on it. Someone's here, he whispered, voice tense. Sophie's voice shook, gripping her flashlight. Lucas, we need to move. Headlights flared at the alley's mouth, a black SUV screeching to a stop. Lucas yanked Sophie behind a crate, voice low. Stay down! Rex's growl turned savage, his body coiled, ready to strike. Grace's voice was sharp, pocketing her notepad. It's them! Syndicate! Two men in dark coats jumped out, guns glinting. Hayes, we know you're there! One shouted, voice rough. Hand over the kid! Lucas's gun was out, voice fierce. Not happening! Rex lunged, a blur of fur, tackling the first man, teeth sinking into his arm, blood spraying. The second fired, the bullet grazing Rex's flank, but the dog didn't falter, dragging the man down. Lucas fired, wounding the shooter's leg, voice sharp. Stay down! Sophie screamed, voice raw. Rex, no! Grace swung her flashlight, cracking the first man's skull, voice fierce. Get off him! The SUV's engine roared, tires peeling out as it fled. Lucas cuffed the men, voice tense. Who sent you? The wounded man spat, voice bitter. You're dead, Hayes. Vaughn's coming. Lucas's blood ran cold. Chief Robert Vaughn, 55, the untouchable head of Willow Creek PD, was the syndicate's linchpin. Vaughn, he hissed, voice low. The man smirked, blood dripping. He owns this town. Rex limped back, blood on his fur, but his growl held, guarding Sophie. Lucas knelt, voice soft, stroking him. You're a damn hero, Rex. Sophie's tears fell, voice breaking. He saved me, Lucas, like he's saving Emma. Grace's voice was urgent, checking her phone. Daniel's at the station, pushing Emma's execution. We need that drive. Now. They reached Miller's office, a small accounting firm, its windows dark. Sophie's voice trembled, unlocking the door. Dad's safe. It's hidden. Rex's nose twitched, leading them to a bookshelf, pawing a false panel. Lucas pried it open, revealing a safe. Code? He asked, voice sharp. Sophie's voice shook, typing Sophie 16. The safe clicked, revealing a USB drive labeled Syndicate Ledger. Grace's voice was fierce, grabbing it. This is it. Names, accounts, hits. But Rex's growl spiked, his body tensing, staring at the door. Footsteps echoed outside, heavy and deliberate. Lucas's gun was up, voice low. They found us! The twist hit like a shockwave. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair neat, police uniform crisp, stepped in, gun drawn, but his voice was shaky. Lucas, I'm not with them. I know Emma's innocent, Daniel's dirty, and Vaughn's running it all. Lucas's voice was sharp, gun steady. Why should I trust you, Ryan? Ryan's hands shook, lowering his weapon, voice raw. I helped Emma on Miller's case. Vaughn threatened my family. I'm done hiding. Sophie's voice trembled, clutching the drive. He's telling the truth, Lucas. Dad trusted him. Rex's growl softened, his nose nudging Ryan as if accepting him. Grace's voice cut through, urgent. We've got the drive, but Daniel's coming. Move! Lucas pocketed the drive, voice fierce. Ryan, you're with us. Rex, lead the way. Rex's amber eyes burned, his wounded flank ignored, his loyalty a beacon. As they slipped into the night, the syndicate's shadow loomed, but Rex's instincts were cracking it wide open. The night air in Willow Creek, Oregon, was thick with mist, streetlights casting dim halos on the wet pavement. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair slick with rain, his leather jacket zipped, gripped the USB drive labeled Syndicate Ledger as he hurried through a back alley. Rex, the German shepherd, limped beside him, his black and tan coat matted with blood from a graze, his amber eyes sharp, nose twitching for danger. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair hidden under a hoodie, clutched a flashlight, her voice trembling. Lucas, that drive. It's got everything Dad knew. We can save Emma. Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair loose, her navy blazer damp, scanned the shadows, notepad tucked away, voice low. We're not safe, Lucas. Vaughn's men are everywhere. Lucas's heart pounded, the polymer scrap and cigarette butt, both marked with the Shadow Syndicate's triangle symbol, burning in his pocket. Emma Riley, 34, sat on death row, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a grim reminder of her framed murder charge. Rex's instincts had led them to Jason Miller's safe, the USB their lifeline to clear her name. Sophie, stay close, Lucas said, voice tight. Vaughn knows we have it. Rex's growl rumbled, his ears pricked, sensing a threat. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, his blonde hair neat, his police uniform crisp, flanked them, gun holstered, voice tense. I'm with you, Lucas. Vaughn's got Daniel on a leash, pushing Emma's execution. Lucas's eyes narrowed, voice sharp. You sure you're clean, Ryan? You worked for Vaughn. Ryan's jaw clenched, voice raw. I fed Emma intel on Miller. Vaughn threatened my sister. I'm done with him. Grace's voice was urgent, checking her phone. Daniel's at the station, filing execution papers. We've got hours, not days. Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. Emma's innocent, Lucas. Dad's drive, it names Vaughn. Rex's nose twitched, his growl spiking as he veered toward a dumpster, pawing at a pile of trash. Lucas knelt, flashlight catching a glint. A burner phone, screen cracked, with a text. Kill Hayes, get the drive. His blood ran cold, voice sharp. They're close. Footsteps echoed, heavy and deliberate. Lucas yanked Sophie behind a crate, voice low. Down. Rex's growl turned savage, his body coiled, blood dripping but unyielding. Grace's voice was fierce, pocketing her phone. It's Syndicate! 3 men in dark coats emerged, guns glinting, one snarling. Hand it over, Hayes! Lucas drew his gun, voice steady. Not a chance. Rex lunged, a blur of fur tackling the leader, teeth sinking into his wrist, gun clattering. The second man fired, the bullet grazing Rex's shoulder, blood spraying. Sophie screamed, voice raw. Rex, no! Lucas fired, wounding the shooter's leg, voice sharp. Stay down! Ryan tackled the third, cuffing him, voice tense. Who sent you? The man spat, voice bitter. Vaughn owns you all. The leader staggered up, knife flashing, but Rex spun, pinning him again, his growl a roar. Grace swung her flashlight, cracking his skull, voice fierce. Back off! Lucas cuffed him, voice grim. Talk or you're done. The man's eyes darted, voice low. Vaughn's at the old mill, Southfield. That's where they plan it. Lucas's heart raced, voice sharp. Southfield? The Syndicate's hub? Sophie's voice trembled, clutching the drive. Dad mentioned Southfield, said it's their base. Grace's voice was urgent, checking the burner phone. More texts. Southfield Vault, destroy Ledger. They know we're close. Rex limped back, blood pooling, but his eyes burned, nudging Lucas, urging him on. Lucas knelt, voice soft. You're tougher than us, Rex. Hang in there. The twist hit like a shockwave. Ryan's radio crackled, Daniel's voice booming. Walsh, you're with Hayes? Bring him in, now! Ryan's face paled, voice shaking. Daniel's tracking us. He's Syndicate too. Lucas's gun snapped up, voice sharp. You knew? Ryan's hands raised, voice raw. I suspected Lucas. He's Vaughn's dog. Planted evidence on Emma. Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. You worked with him, Ryan. How could you? Ryan's voice broke, tears in his eyes. I fed Emma leads to protect her. Vaughn forced me to stay quiet, threatened my family. Rex's growl softened, his nose nudging Ryan's hand as if sensing truth. Lucas lowered his gun, voice tense. Prove it, Ryan. Get us to Southfield. Ryan nodded, voice firm. I'm in, for Emma. Grace's voice cut through, urgent. Daniel's coming. He'll kill us for that drive. Sophie's voice trembled, clutching the flashlight. Lucas, what about Emma? She's running out of time. Lucas pocketed the drive, voice fierce. We're hitting Southfield. Rex, you're our guide. Rex's amber eyes gleamed, his wounded body steady, his loyalty a fire no bullet could douse. As they slipped into the night, the Syndicate's grip on Willow Creek tightened, but Rex's instincts were tearing it apart. The night cloaked Willow Creek, Oregon, in a heavy mist. The old Southfield Mill's rusted silhouette looming like a ghost on the town's edge. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair wet, his leather jacket soaked, clutched the USB drive, Shadow Syndicate's ledger, as he crept through the mill's overgrown lot. Rex, the German shepherd, moved ahead, his black and tan coat matted with blood from a graze, his amber eyes piercing the dark, nose low, tracking danger. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair tucked under a hoodie, gripped a flashlight, her voice a whisper. "Lucas, this place, Dad warned me about it." Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair loose, her navy blazer torn, scanned the shadows, voice tense. "Vaughn's here, Lucas, the syndicate's hub." Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair neat, police uniform muddied, flanked them, gun drawn, voice low. "I've seen Vaughn's files. This mill's their vault, drugs, records, everything." Lucas's heart raced, the polymer scrap and burner phone texts. "Kill Hayes. Get the drive. Proof Emma Riley, 34, was framed for Jason Miller's murder." Emma, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a mark of injustice, faced execution in hours. "Rex, find it," Lucas urged, voice sharp. Rex's growl rumbled, his wounded flank ignored, leading them toward a steel door. Inside the mill, the air was thick with rust and oil, machinery casting jagged shadows. Lucas's flashlight caught a vault, its lock engraved with the syndicate's triangle symbol. "That's it," Grace said, voice urgent, checking the USB. "The ledger name's Vaughn. Chief Robert Vaughn, 55, runs it all." Sophie's voice trembled, clutching her flashlight. "Dad's name's in there, Lucas. He tried to stop them." Rex's nose twitched, his growl spiking, pawing at a crate. Lucas pried it open, revealing a bloodied glove, DNA tagged to Jonas Kane, a syndicate hitman. "This is it," Lucas said, voice tight. Emma's fingerprints were faked. Ryan's voice was grim, scanning the room. "Vaughn's covering for Kane. Daniel's his puppet." Lucas's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "You're too late, Hayes." His blood ran cold, voice sharp. "They know we're here," footsteps echoed, boots on concrete. Lucas yanked Sophie behind a machine, voice low. "Down!" Rex's growl turned feral, his body coiled, blood dripping but fierce. Grace's voice was sharp, pocketing the glove. "It's Daniel!" Detective Daniel Brooks, 42, short brown hair, gray suit crisp, stepped from the shadows, gun raised, voice cold. "Hand it over, Hayes. You're out of moves." 3 syndicate thugs flanked him, rifles glinting, one snarling, "Give us the drive, or the kid dies." Lucas's gun was up, voice fierce. "You framed Emma, Daniel. You're Vaughn's lapdog." Daniel's smirk was icy, voice low. "She was too nosy, Lucas." "Miller had to go. She was collateral." Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. "You killed my dad! Emma was after you!" Rex lunged, teeth sinking into a thug's arm, gun clattering, blood spraying. Lucas fired, wounding another's leg, voice sharp. "Drop it!" Ryan tackled the third, voice raw. "I'm done with you, Brooks." But Daniel fired, the bullet grazing Rex's leg, the dog yelping but holding fast, pinning his target. Grace swung a pipe, cracking a thug's skull, voice fierce. "Back off!" Sophie's voice trembled, filming with her phone. "It's live, Daniel." "The world's watching." Daniel's face paled, voice shaking. "You idiots! Vaughn'll kill us all." The twist hit like a shockwave. A deafening explosion rocked the mill, flames erupting from a rigged gas line, shrapnel flying. Lucas dove, shielding Sophie, voice raw. "Get down!" Rex staggered, blood pooling, but his growl held, dragging the thug away from the fire. Daniel stumbled, voice frantic. "Vaughn's cleaning house. He wants the drive gone." Ryan cuffed the thug, voice tense. "He's burning evidence, and us." Grace's voice was urgent, grabbing the USB. "We've got the ledger. Move!" Lucas scooped Rex, voice breaking. "Hang on, boy." Sophie's voice trembled, filming the chaos. Emma's running out of time. They sprinted through smoke, flames licking the walls, the vault's contents their only hope. Daniel bolted, voice desperate. I'm not dying for Vaughn. Lucas's voice was fierce, carrying Rex. You're not escaping, Brooks. Outside, sirens wailed, FBI lights flashing. Grace's voice was sharp, waving them down. Over here. Lucas set Rex down, voice soft, stroking his fur. You're a warrior, Rex. You saved us. Ryan's voice was raw, cuffing a thug. Daniel's gone, Lucas. But Vaughn's next. Sophie's phone buzzed, comments flooding. Save Emma. Lucas clutched the drive, voice resolute. We're hitting Vaughn's office. Rex, you're with us. Back at the Willow Creek jail, Emma sat in her cell, her blonde hair matted, her jumpsuit wrinkled, her hands clenched. The guard's voice was cold, sliding a tray through the bars. Last meal, Riley. Execution's dawn. Emma's heart pounded, not for herself, but for Rex. Where's my dog? She asked, voice low. The guard smirked, voice cruel. That mutt. Probably put down by now. Emma's fists tightened, voice fierce. He's out there, fighting for me, you'll see. At the mill's edge, Lucas's group regrouped, Rex's wounds bleeding but his spirit unbroken. Grace plugged the USB into her laptop, voice urgent. Names, accounts, Vaughn, Daniel, Kane, all tied to syndicate hits. Sophie's voice trembled, pointing at a file. Lucas, look, another murder, same MO, last week. They're still killing. Lucas's eyes widened, voice sharp. They're framing someone else. We need to move. Ryan's radio crackled, a dispatcher's voice. All units, Hayes is a suspect. New murder. His prints. Lucas's blood ran cold, voice tense. They're framing me now. Grace's voice was fierce, closing her laptop. Vaughn's tying up loose ends. We hit his office. Now. Sophie's voice broke, tears falling. Emma's got ours, Lucas. We can't fail her. Rex's growl cut through, his nose twitching, sensing a new threat. Headlights flared, a black SUV speeding toward them. Lucas yanked Sophie back, voice sharp. Run! Rex staggered forward, barking furiously, his wounded leg trembling but his resolve ironclad. Ryan fired at the SUV, voice raw. Go! I'll hold them! Lucas scooped Rex, voice fierce. You're not dying on me, boy! They sprinted toward Grace's car, the SUV's tires screeching, gunfire erupting. Sophie's voice trembled, filming. They're gonna kill us! Grace floored the gas, voice sharp. Not today. The car roared into the night, Rex's barks echoing, a call to save Emma. Lucas clutched the drive, voice resolute. Vaughn's going down, Rex, for Emma. The syndicate's web was unraveling, and Rex's courage was the key to breaking it wide open. The pre-dawn streets of Willow Creek, Oregon were shrouded in fog, the town's quiet charm a mask for its festering corruption. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair matted with sweat, his leather jacket torn, gripped the USB drive, Shadow Syndicate's ledger, as he sped through the mist in a stolen van. Rex, the German shepherd, lay in the back, his black and tan coat bloodied from grazes and a fresh leg wound, his amber eyes fierce despite the pain, a low whine escaping as he shifted. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair loose under a hoodie, clutched her phone, her voice trembling. Lucas, the video's viral. Millions are watching. They're demanding Emma's release. Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair disheveled, her navy blazer singed from the mill explosion, checked a burner phone, voice urgent. FBI's closing in, but Vaughn's at his office. We've got to hit him now. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair mussed, his police uniform ripped, drove, his voice tense. Vaughn's got Daniel running cleanup. They're burning everything. Lucas's heart pounded. The bloodied glove, DNA linked to syndicate hitman Jonas Kane. Proof Emma Riley, 34, was framed for Jason Miller's murder. Emma, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a symbol of injustice, faced execution at dawn. "Rex, you led us this far," Lucas said, voice tight, glancing back. Rex's growl rumbled, his wounded body steady, urging them on. The van screeched to a stop outside Chief Robert Vaughn's downtown office, a sleek building hiding Willow Creek's darkest secrets. Lucas's flashlight caught the syndicate's triangle symbol etched on a plaque, his voice low. "This is it, Vaughn's lair." Sophie's voice shook, pocketing her phone. "Dad's ledger names him, Lucas. He killed my dad." Grace's voice was fierce, checking the USB. "Bank accounts, hits, cops on payroll, it's all here." Ryan's voice was grim, gun ready. "Daniel's inside. We take them both." Rex's nose twitched, his growl spiking as he limped to the door, pawing at a keypad. Lucas punched in Syndicate, the lock clicking. "Good boy," he whispered, stroking Rex's fur. Inside, the office was dark, files strewn across desks, a shredder humming. Rex's ears pricked, leading them to a back room, his growl fierce. Lucas's heart raced, voice low. "Stay sharp." The door swung open, revealing Detective Daniel Brooks, 42, short brown hair, gray suit rumpled, feeding papers into a shredder. "You're too late, Hayes," Daniel sneered, gun drawn, voice cold. "Emma's done." 3 syndicate thugs flanked him, rifles glinting. Lucas's gun snapped up, voice sharp. "Drop it, Brooks. The ledger's out. You're finished." Sophie's voice trembled, filming. "It's live, Daniel." "Everyone sees you!" Rex lunged, teeth sinking into a thug's leg, blood spraying, gun clattering. Lucas fired, wounding another, voice fierce. "Stay down!" Ryan tackled the third, voice raw. "I trusted you, Brooks." Grace swung a chair, cracking a thug's skull, voice sharp. "For Emma!" Daniel fired, the bullet grazing Rex's flank, the dog yelping but holding fast, pinning his target. Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. "Rex, you're amazing." The twist hit like a shockwave. Daniel's phone buzzed, a text flashing. "Kill them all, Vaughn." His face paled, voice shaking. "Vaughn's setting me up. I didn't kill Miller. Jonas did." Lucas's voice was fierce, gun steady. "You planted Emma's prints. Why?" Daniel's hands trembled, voice breaking. "Vaughn owned me. Debts, threats. I faked the evidence to save my family." Ryan's voice was raw, cuffing a thug. "You sold Emma out, you bastard." Rex's growl deepened, his nose twitching, darting to a filing cabinet. Lucas pried it open, revealing a laptop and a tape labeled Miller Confession. Grace's voice was urgent, loading the tape. Miller's voice crackled. "Vaughn runs Syndicate, drugs, hits. Emma's onto him. They'll kill me." Sophie's tears fell, voice soft. "Dad, you tried." Lucas's voice was sharp, grabbing the laptop. "This clears Emma. Where's Vaughn?" Daniel's voice was desperate, dropping his gun. "His safe house, Portland. He's burning Southfield's vault." A thud echoed. Rex staggered, blood pooling from his leg, his growl fading. Lucas knelt, voice breaking. "Rex, hang on." Sophie's voice trembled, filming. "He's hurt bad, Lucas." Grace's voice was fierce, pocketing the tape. "We've got proof. Move." Sirens wailed, FBI lights flashing outside. Ryan's voice was tense, hauling Daniel. "You're testifying, Brooks." Lucas carried Rex, voice soft. "You're our hero, boy." "We're saving Emma." Sophie's phone buzzed, comments flooding. "Rex is a legend." Grace's voice was sharp, waving down agents. "We've got the ledger tape. Vaughn's done." Lucas's voice was resolute, clutching the evidence. "Portland's next." "Rex, you're with us." Rex's amber eyes flickered, his wounded body heavy, but his spirit burned. A warrior leading the charge to free Emma from the gallows and shatter the syndicate's grip on Willow Creek. The pre-dawn fog clung to the streets of Portland, Oregon, a gray veil over the city's industrial sprawl, where shadows hid the darkest secrets. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair damp, his leather jacket torn, gripped the steering wheel of a beat-up van, the USB drive, Shadow Syndicate's ledger, burning in his pocket. Rex, the German shepherd, lay in the back, his black and tan coat matted with blood from multiple grazes, his amber eyes flickering with pain but fierce with purpose, a low whine escaping as he shifted. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair loose under a hoodie, clutched her phone, her voice trembling. "Lucas, the FBI's behind us, but Vaughn's safe house, how do we even find it?" Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair wild, her navy blazer singed from the mill explosion, pored over a laptop, voice urgent. The tape said, "Portland, Southfield District, Vaughn's burning evidence, now." Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair mussed, his police uniform ripped, sat shotgun, gun holstered, voice tense. "Daniel's spilling, Lucas." "Vaughn's got a vault, drugs, files, polymer masks. It's all at the safe house." Lucas's heart pounded. The bloodied glove, DNA linked to syndicate hitman Jonas Kane, and Miller's confession, tape-proof Emma Riley, 34, was framed for Jason Miller's murder. Emma, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a mark of injustice, faced execution in hours. "Rex, you're our guide," Lucas said, voice tight, glancing back. Rex's growl rumbled, his wounded leg trembling but his spirit unbroken, urging them forward. The van screeched to a stop in Southfield's warehouse district, a maze of rusted buildings and flickering streetlights. Lucas's flashlight caught a faded sign, Southfield Storage. The syndicate's triangle symbol was scratched into a steel door. "This is it?" Grace said, voice sharp, checking the USB. "Ledger lists this address, Vaughn's vault." Sophie's voice shook, pocketing her phone. "Dad died for this, Lucas. Save Emma." Ryan's voice was grim, checking his gun. "Vaughn's got men inside." "We go quiet." Rex's nose twitched, his growl low, limping to the door, pawing a keypad. Lucas punched in Vaughn 55, the lock clicking. "Good boy," he whispered, stroking Rex's bloodied fur. Inside, the warehouse was a cavern of crates, the air thick with chemicals and deceit. Rex's ears pricked, leading them through shadows, his growl fierce despite his wounds. Lucas's heart raced, voice low. "Stay tight. Vaughn's here." A hum of voices echoed from a back room. Lucas signaled, voice a hiss. "Down!" Rex's body tensed, blood dripping, but his amber eyes burned, guiding them to a steel vault door, the triangle symbol gleaming. Sophie's voice trembled, filming. "That's the vault, Lucas." Grace's voice was urgent, pulling the laptop. "The ledger, bank accounts, hits, cops like Daniel. It's all in there." Ryan's voice was tense, gun ready. "We crack it. Emma walks." Rex's growl spiked, his nose darting to a crate, pawing frantically. Lucas pried it open, revealing a stack of polymer masks, lifelike faces, one mimicking Emma's. "Jesus," Lucas whispered, voice shaking. "They used this to frame her." Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. "Dad said they could be anyone." Grace's voice was fierce, bagging a mask. "This is evidence. FBI needs it." Footsteps thudded, a door slamming open. Chief Robert Vaughn, 55, his silver hair slick, his black suit pristine, stepped out, gun drawn, voice cold. "You're persistent, Hayes." 5 syndicate thugs flanked him, rifles glinting. Detective Daniel Brooks, 42, short brown hair, gray suit rumpled, stood beside him, face pale, voice shaky. "Lucas, give it up." "Vaughn owns everything." Lucas's gun snapped up, voice sharp. "You framed Emma Vaughn. The ledger, the tape. It's over." Vaughn's laugh was icy, voice low. "You think a USB saves Riley? She's dead by dawn." Sophie's voice trembled, filming. "It's live, Vaughn." "The world sees you." Ryan's voice was raw, gun raised. "I'm done, Daniel. You sold us out." Rex lunged, a blur of fur, tackling a thug, teeth sinking into his arm, blood spraying. Lucas fired, wounding another, voice fierce. "Drop it!" Grace swung a wrench, cracking a thug's skull, voice sharp. "For Miller!" Daniel's voice cracked, stepping back. "Vaughn forced me, Lucas. I didn't kill Miller." Vaughn's gun snapped to Daniel, voice venomous. "Shut up, Brooks." The twist hit like a shockwave. Daniel dove, tackling Vaughn, voice desperate. "I'm not dying for you." The thugs fired, bullets grazing Rex's shoulder, the dog yelping but pinning his target. Lucas tackled a shooter, voice raw. "Rex, hold on." Ryan cuffed a thug, voice tense. "Daniel, you're with us or you're dead." Daniel's hands shook, voice breaking. "I'll testify. Vaughn's the head. Jonas Kane killed Miller." Sophie's voice trembled, filming the chaos. "Lucas, Rex is hurt." Grace cracked the vault, voice urgent. "Got it. Files, masks, drugs." A hidden panel revealed a laptop streaming live. Vaughn's orders to kill Emma recorded. Lucas's voice was fierce, grabbing it. "This ends him." Vaughn broke free, knife flashing, slicing Ryan's arm, blood spraying. "You're all dead," he snarled, lunging for Sophie. Rex staggered, blood pooling but leaped, teeth clamping Vaughn's wrist, the knife clattering. Vaughn screamed, kicking Rex, the dog collapsing, his growl fading. Lucas tackled Vaughn, voice raw. "You're done." Ryan cuffed him, voice grim. "You're ours, Chief." Sophie's voice cracked, kneeling by Rex. "He's bleeding bad, Lucas." Grace's voice was sharp, bagging evidence. "FBI's here, move." Sirens wailed, lights flashing. Lucas scooped Rex, voice breaking. "You're a hero, boy. Stay with me." Sophie's phone buzzed, comments flooding. "Save Rex." Ryan dragged Vaughn, voice tense. Daniel's testifying. Emma's free. FBI agents stormed in, voices shouting, "Clear!" Lucas carried Rex to a medic, voice soft. "You led us here, Rex." "Emma's counting on you." Grace's voice was fierce, handing the laptop to an agent. "This buries Syndicate." Sophie's voice trembled, stroking Rex. "You saved my dad's truth, Rex." Daniel's voice was low, cuffed beside Vaughn. "I'm sorry, Lucas. I was weak." Rex's amber eyes flickered, his wounded body heavy, but his spirit burned, a warrior who'd cracked the Syndicate's heart. The fight for Emma's life surged toward Portland's darkest corners, with Rex's courage as their guide. The fog hung heavy over Portland's warehouse district, its rusted hulks looming like specters in the pre-dawn gloom. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair matted with sweat, his leather jacket torn, gripped the stolen SUV's wheel, the Syndicate's ledger, Miller's tape, and Portland Ops files burning in his pocket. Rex, the German shepherd, lay in the back, his black and tan coat slick with blood from grazes and a fresh shoulder wound, his amber eyes dim but fierce, a faint growl rumbling despite his pain. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair loose under a hoodie, clutched her phone, her voice trembling. "Lucas, the FBI's raiding Vaughn's office, but Emma's execution's at sunrise." Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair disheveled, her navy blazer singed, scanned the Portland Ops files, voice urgent. "These named Syndicate bosses, higher than Vaughn." Portland's their nerve center. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair mussed, his police uniform blood-stained, checked his gun, voice tense. Vaughn's safe house is here, old textile mill. He's guarding the vault. Lucas's heart pounded. The bloodied glove, DNA linked to hitman Jonas Kane, and the ledger proving Emma Riley, 34, was framed for Jason Miller's murder. Emma, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a mark of injustice, had hours left. "Rex, you're our North Star," Lucas said, voice tight, glancing back. Rex's whine was pained but resolute, his wounded body urging them forward. The SUV screeched to a stop outside the mill, its crumbling facade marked with the syndicate's triangle symbol. Lucas's flashlight caught a steel door, his voice low. "This is it. Vaughn's last stand." Sophie's voice shook, pocketing her phone. "Dad's files said the vault's got everything. Masks, contracts, payoffs." Grace's voice was fierce, clutching the tape. "We expose this. Emma walks." Ryan's voice was grim, gun ready. "Vaughn's got mercenaries. We're walking into hell." Rex staggered out, his leg bleeding, but his nose twitched, leading to the door, his growl fierce. Lucas punched in Portland, the lock clicking. "Good boy," he whispered, stroking Rex's fur. Inside, the mill was a labyrinth of crates and machinery, the air thick with dust and diesel. Rex's ears pricked, his growl sharpening, darting to a reinforced vault. Lucas's heart raced, voice urgent. "That's the mother lode." Footsteps echoed, boots on concrete. Lucas yanked Sophie behind a crate, voice low. "Down!" Rex's body coiled, blood dripping, his eyes locked on the shadows. Chief Robert Vaughn, 55, silver hair slick, black suit pristine, emerged, a revolver gleaming, voice cold. "You're relentless, Hayes, but you're out of time." 6 syndicate mercenaries flanked him, rifles raised, faces hidden by polymer masks. Lucas's gun snapped up, voice fierce. "You framed Emma, Vaughn! The ledger's out! You're done!" Sophie's voice trembled, filming. "It's live, Vaughn. The world's watching," Grace fired, wounding a mercenary, voice sharp. "Drop it." Ryan tackled another, voice raw. "You're finished, Chief." Rex lunged, teeth sinking into a mercenary's leg, blood spraying, rifle clattering. Vaughn fired, the bullet grazing Rex's flank, the dog yelping but pinning his target. Lucas fired, wounding Vaughn's arm, voice fierce. "Give it up." Vaughn's laugh was bitter, clutching his wound. "You think I'm the kingpin? I'm a cog, Hayes." "The syndicate's everywhere." Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. "You killed my dad. For nothing." Rex's growl deepened, his nose twitching, darting to a crate. Lucas pried it open, revealing a biopolymer printer and masks, perfect replicas of Emma, Lucas, even Sophie. Grace's voice was urgent, grabbing a mask. "They framed Emma with these high-tech doubles." The twist hit like a shockwave. Grace's voice trembled, dropping the mask, her hands shaking. "I worked for them, Lucas. Years ago, as an informant. I fed Miller info to protect Sophie." Lucas's gun wavered, voice sharp. "You knew about Syndicate. Why didn't you tell us?" Grace's tears fell, voice breaking. "They threatened Sophie." "I quit when I saw their kills, but I kept quiet to save her." Ryan's voice was tense, cuffing a mercenary. "She's telling the truth, Lucas. Miller trusted her." Rex's growl spiked, his nose pressed to the vault, pawing frantically. Lucas punched in shadow, the vault clicking open, revealing ledgers, contracts, and a tape labeled Vaughn Orders. Sophie's voice was fierce, loading it. "This nails him!" Vaughn's voice was desperate, raising his gun. "You're dead, all of you!" But Rex spun, leaping, his teeth clamping Vaughn's wrist, the revolver falling. Vaughn screamed, collapsing, and Lucas cuffed him, voice cold. "You're done, Chief." Sirens wailed, FBI lights flooding the mill. Grace's voice was sharp, waving down agents. We've got Vaughn. Evidence. Move. Sophie's phone buzzed, comments exploding. Free Emma. Ryan hauled Vaughn, voice raw. You're testifying, you bastard. Lucas knelt by Rex, voice breaking, stroking his bloodied fur. You're a damn legend, boy. Rex's whine was faint, his eyes locked on Lucas, urging him to save Emma. A new text hit Sophie's phone. Portland's a decoy. Check Willow Creek PD. Vault's there. Lucas's heart stopped, voice sharp. They played us. Vaughn's a distraction. Grace's voice was fierce, grabbing the files. The real syndicate's back home. Willow Creek's the heart. Sophie's voice trembled, filming. Emma's out of time. Lucas scooped Rex, voice resolute. We're hitting the station. Rex, you're leading us. Rex's amber eyes flickered, his wounded body trembling, but his spirit roared, a warrior guiding them to the syndicate's core and Emma's salvation. The Portland skyline loomed gray and jagged against a dawn streaked with fire, the city's pulse drowned by the roar of sirens slicing through the fog. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair slick with sweat, his leather jacket shredded, gripped the steering wheel of a battered FBI van, the syndicate's ledger USB, Miller's tape, and Portland ops files tucked in his blood-stained pocket. Rex, the German shepherd, lay panting in the back, his black and tan coat matted with blood from grazes and fresh wounds on his leg and flank. His amber eyes burning with defiance despite the pain, a low growl rumbling as he sensed the stakes. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair tangled under a hoodie, clutched her phone, her voice trembling but fierce. Lucas, the live stream's exploding. Hashtag free. Emma's got 10 million views. People are storming the courthouse. Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair wild, her navy blazer charred, clutched the vault files, her voice sharp. Vaughn's in custody, but the syndicate's bigger. We need their head, now! Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, his blonde hair matted, his police uniform torn, reloaded his gun, voice tense. Daniel's testifying, but he says Vaughn's boss is here, in Portland. A safe house, old textile factory. Lucas's heart thundered, the bloodied glove, DNA linked to Jonas Kane, and the ledger proving Emma Riley, 34, was framed for Jason Miller's murder. Emma, her blonde hair in a prison braid, her jumpsuit a mark of her stolen justice, faced execution in under an hour. Rex, you've carried us this far, Lucas said, voice raw, glancing back. Rex's whine was pained but resolute, his wounded body urging them to the factory's gates. The textile factory squatted in Portland's industrial sprawl, its cracked walls scarred with the syndicate's triangle symbol, a fortress of secrets. Lucas's flashlight caught a steel door, his voice low. This is it, their core. Sophie's voice shook, pocketing her phone. Dad's files said the boss runs everything from here. Hits, bribes, masks. Grace's voice was urgent, checking the laptop. Accounts traced to a Mr. Black. No real name, but he's in there. Ryan's voice was grim, kicking the door. They're burning evidence. We're out of time. Rex's nose twitched, his growl spiking despite his limp, leading them inside. The factory reeked of oil and ash, conveyor belts silent, crates stacked with polymer masks. Syndicate tech used to frame Emma. Rex's ears pricked, his body tensing, darting to a vaulted office, its door ajar. Lucas's heart raced, voice low. Stay sharp. Sophie's voice trembled, filming. Lucas, this is live. Everyone's watching. Grace's voice was fierce, gun drawn. For Emma. Inside, the office was a war room, screens, files, a shredder humming. Chief Robert Vaughn, 55, silver hair disheveled, black suit bloodied, stood cuffed, his voice a snarl. You're fools, Hayes. You can't touch black. Detective Daniel Brooks, 42, short brown hair, gray suit torn, Coward, voice shaky. I told you, Lucas, he's the real power. A man in a black trench coat, 60, bald with a scarred face, turned. Mr. Black, his voice cold. You've got my ledger. Impressive. But Emma's dead, and you're next. 4 syndicate enforcers flanked him, rifles raised. Lucas's gun snapped up, voice fierce. You framed Emma, Black. The world knows. Your empire's done. Sophie's voice trembled, streaming. You killed my dad. It's over. Grace fired, wounding an enforcer, voice sharp. Drop it. Ryan tackled another, voice raw. You're finished, Vaughn. Rex lunged, teeth sinking into an enforcer's leg, blood spraying, rifle clattering. Black fired, the bullet grazing Rex's shoulder, the dog yelping but pinning his target, his growl a roar. Lucas fired, clipping Black's arm, voice fierce. Give it up. Sophie's voice cracked, tears falling. You're on live, Black. Everyone sees you. Daniel's voice was desperate, hands raised. I didn't want this. Vaughn forced me. Black's the puppet master. Ryan's voice was tense, cuffing an enforcer. You sold Emma out, Brooks. Grace's voice was urgent, grabbing a file from the desk. Hit lists, global ops, syndicates everywhere. The twist hit like a thunderbolt. Rex's growl spiked, his nose darting to a hidden safe, pawing furiously. Lucas pried it open, revealing a tablet and a tape labeled Black's Orders. Grace's voice shook, playing the tape. Black's voice. Frame Riley, kill Miller. She's too close to Portland. Sophie's tears fell, voice soft. Dad was right. Emma was saving us. Lucas's voice was sharp, grabbing the tablet. This ends you, Black. Black laughed, voice bitter, clutching his wound. You think you've won? Syndicates global. Cut one head. Another grows. An enforcer broke free, knife flashing, lunging at Sophie. Rex spun, tackling him, his teeth sinking into the man's arm, blood pooling. Lucas fired, dropping the enforcer, voice raw. Rex, you're incredible. Sophie's voice trembled, filming. He saved me, Lucas. FBI sirens screamed outside, lights flashing. Grace's voice was fierce, waving them in. We've got Black. Evidence. Move. Ryan hauled Vaughn, voice tense. You're testifying, Chief. Lucas scooped Rex, voice breaking. Hang on, boy. You're Emma's hero. Sophie's phone buzzed, comments flooding. Rex is a legend. Grace clutched the tablet, voice resolute. This clears Emma. FBI's halting the execution. Black's voice was a snarl, cuffed by agents. You'll never stop us. Lucas's voice was fierce, holding Rex. We already have. Rex's amber eyes flickered, his bloodied body heavy, but his spirit blazed, a warrior who'd shattered the syndicate's core to save Emma from the gallows. The fight wasn't over, but Rex's courage had turned the tide. The sun rose over Willow Creek, Oregon, painting the town's quiet streets in hues of gold, a stark contrast to the shadows that had gripped it for so long. The old courthouse lawn buzzed with life, transformed into a vibrant community gathering, banners fluttering with the words, Justice for Emma, and Rex's Legacy. Emma Riley, 34, stood at the center, her blonde hair loose, her police uniform crisp, a badge gleaming on her chest, restored after her exoneration. Rex, the German shepherd, sat beside her, his black and tan coat groomed, his grazes healed, a medal of valor around his neck, his amber eyes bright with pride. The crowd cheered, cameras flashing, as Emma's voice rang out, steady but warm. This isn't just my victory, it's ours. Willow Creek's, Rex's. Lucas Hayes, 36, his black hair neat, his leather jacket swapped for a blazer, stood nearby, a faint smile on his lips. Sophie Miller, 16, her red hair braided, her hoodie bright, filmed the event, her viral campaign. At Free Emma, now a beacon of change, sparking reforms across Oregon. Grace Carter, 50, her gray hair styled, her navy blazer pressed, clutched a notepad, tears in her eyes. Officer Ryan Walsh, 30, blonde hair tidy, his police uniform polished, nodded to Emma, his redemption earned through his testimony. The Shadow Syndicate's empire had crumbled, Chief Robert Vaughn and Detective Daniel Brooks behind bars, their confessions exposing a global network of corruption. Emma's heart swelled, her hand resting on Rex's head, his warmth grounding her. "You never gave up, boy," she whispered, voice thick. Rex's tail wagged, his nose nudging her, a silent vow fulfilled. Lucas approached, voice low. "You're back where you belong, Emma." She smiled, voice soft. "Thanks to you, Lucas." "And Rex." Sophie's voice piped up, camera steady. "This is for Dad, Emma. He'd be proud." Grace's voice was gentle, wiping tears. "And for Miller, he tried to stop them." The syndicate's downfall was headline news. Global crime ring busted by small-town heroes. Vaughn, 55, his silver hair dulled in prison grays, had confessed to orchestrating Miller's murder, framing Emma to silence her investigation. Brooks, 42, his gray suit traded for a jumpsuit, admitted to faking evidence under Vaughn's orders. Jonas Kane, the hitman, was in custody, his DNA on the glove Rex found sealing his fate. The biopolymer mask printer, uncovered in Portland, revealed how Emma's likeness was used, a chilling technology now in FBI hands. Emma addressed the crowd, voice clear. "Willow Creek was my home, my fight." The syndicate thought they could break us, but they forgot one thing, loyalty. Rex's loyalty, your loyalty. She knelt, stroking Rex, his eyes locked on her, a hero unbroken. He saw the truth when no one else did. Cheers erupted, signs waving, Rex for sheriff. Sophie laughed, voice bright. "He'd win, Emma." Ryan stepped forward, voice steady. "I failed you, Emma. Helped Vaughn too long." "I'm making it right. New unit, clean cops." Emma's voice was firm, hand on his shoulder. "You turn back, Ryan. That's enough." Lucas's voice was warm, nodding. "You're one of us now." Grace's voice was fierce, holding up her notepad. "I'm starting a foundation, Miller's Haven, for kids like Sophie. No more syndicates." Sophie's tears fell, voice soft. "For Dad." But a final twist stirred the air. As the ceremony wound down, an older woman approached, 60, her auburn hair graying, her coat worn, holding a faded envelope. "Emma?" she asked, voice hesitant. "I'm Ellen Pierce, Miller's sister." Sophie's breath caught, voice trembling. "Aunt Ellen, you're alive?" Ellen's tears fell, voice breaking. "I worked for Syndicate, Sophie. Hid when they killed Jason. Rex's story brought me back." "Portland's not the end. There's a bigger cell, international." Emma's heart raced, voice urgent. "International? Where?" Ellen handed her the envelope, Miller's handwriting clear. "If I die, Ellen knows the rest." "Protect Sophie." Lucas's voice was sharp, opening it. "Coordinates. Europe, coded subject 14. Syndicates still active." Ryan's voice was tense, checking his gun. "We're not done, Emma." Grace's voice was fierce, pocketing the letter. "FBI's on it. We'll hunt them." Emma knelt, stroking Rex, voice resolute. "You started this, boy." "We'll finish it, together." Rex's whine was soft, his nose nudging her, his loyalty aflame no distance could dim. She stood, addressing the crowd, voice strong. "This isn't the end." Rex showed us what loyalty means, what justice demands. We're rebuilding Willow Creek, and we'll chase the truth wherever it leads. The crowd roared, cameras flashing, Sophie streaming live. For Rex. For Emma. Lucas's voice was warm, hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone, Emma. We've got your back." Sophie's voice was bright, filming. And the world's with us. Ryan's voice was steady, saluting. For Willow Creek. Grace's voice was soft, smiling. For Miller's Haven. Emma's tears fell, voice choked, stroking Rex. For you, boy, my hero. Rex's tail wagged, his eyes bright, a warrior at peace but ready for the next fight. Months later, Miller's Haven opened, a sanctuary for at-risk youth, Sophie at its heart. Emma led a new FBI task force, Lucas and Ryan by her side, tracing Subject 14's trail to Europe. Rex, fully healed, trained daily with Emma, his instincts sharper than ever. A new file surfaced, coded Global Ops, hinting at Syndicate's lingering shadow. Emma's resolve hardened, voice soft as she petted Rex. We'll find them, boy. You showed me how. The courthouse lawn grew quiet, the crowd dispersing, but the air hummed with hope. Emma's voice echoed in their hearts. Loyalty beats corruption. Rex proved it. She walked with Rex, his steps strong, the town reborn around them, a testament to their fight. To everyone watching, Emma and Rex's story isn't just about justice. It's about loyalty, courage, and the unbreakable bond between a cop and her dog, shattering empires with truth. Share your story of a loyal pet in the comments. What moment showed you their heart? Subscribe to Pawprints of Hope, join our community, and let's keep these stories alive. Stories like Rex's proving that heroes don't need badges, just a will to fight for what's right.